We welcome you back to the Bethany Athletic website here, blcvikings.com, and another edition of the Bethany Sports Beat. We're going to talk women's basketball at this point, and joining us right now is a junior forward on the team, Briana Brandts from St. James. And Briana, nice to have you with us today. And obviously you guys right now in the conference season, a lot of optimism with the team right now. You got the win last week against Crown, have played well in recent games, close one against Martin Luther. And I would imagine if you look at everything as far as the season's progressed, you guys have to be pretty optimistic about where you're at and where you're moving forward to.
Definitely. Coming to the conference, the teams are really well, or they're really good, and we go each week knowing that this is going to be our game, and we work the week before, everything we can do, and really excited to see the rest of the season goes.
Non-conference season, obviously, for you guys is a pretty tough component of the schedule as it goes in the year. While the record might not have been obviously where we wanted, what did you guys learn? Obviously, new coach this year, new system. What did you guys learn over that non-conference season, which is going to get you ready for what we're doing right now in UMAC play?
There's some tough teams that we played in preseason. They're bigger and they're stronger. I know we talk about it's like they're almost like they're D2 teams sometimes. So I think it's great going against those teams first, because then when you come to their conference, it's a little less like, well, they're not as big, they're not as, better ball handlers and everything. So that gives us an opportunity to have the better teams. And then when it comes to conference, we're ready, we're prepared for, everything, whatever they give us each game.
Okay. And again, we talked a little bit before we got going here. New coach this year, Lyle Jones. What's the difference in just the style of play, whether it's defensively, offensively? What has been the biggest trademarks coming in now playing for Lyle Jones?
Coach Jones, he gets us going in practice. He's really tough, and he gets us running up and down. So like every time we get in the game, we're going and we're going. And I think the difference between 2 years ago when I played with TY is definitely just that intensity. We're constantly pushing the ball up the court. We're looking for the best possible shot. I think we work on a difference this year is trying to pass the ball more than 2 or 3 times to get that best shot, and that's what we've been working on the past couple weeks, definitely, too, with the conference games. Okay,
now coming into the interview portion here that we're doing with Briana, leading the team in rebounding, among team leaders, in fact, second in scoring. But we were talking a little bit before we got going. The first thing you wanted to say, despite some of those accolades, boy, I haven't played very well last couple of weeks. Are you notoriously a little bit hard on yourself?
I'm hard on myself because it's when I miss those bunnies. And, in the last game it was really close, and I was telling myself if I would have made those shots, we would have been up. So I'm really hard on myself because I know that I can be better each time, but that's just kind of how I am. Okay. Yeah.
Team overall, again, right now coming in kind of right in the middle of the pack, and we're early in UMAC play right now, but some big games coming up. You got Northwestern this weekend, North Central, and then only one more weekend before we get back into the second half of the schedule. Where the team is at right now? Are you guys? We talked a little bit starting the interview here just about optimism and stuff like that. But in terms of where the team is at, what are some of the things you guys are excelling at in terms of the X's and O's of basketball, and what are some of those things you guys need to improve upon?
Definitely just looking at all the teams in the conference. Northwestern obviously is going to be pretty tough, but what we've been talking about in practice is, getting the shots individually that you're the best at, and passing the ball, and making sure that our defense is, Northwestern this weekend we have to really focus on. They've got a big post player. So we're just looking at getting the best possible shots together, pushing up the ball. We've been working on our press this past week just because we really want to make sure that we can get them out of that right away. And I think the number one thing is just going into these games knowing that we can beat these teams if we work together and have that confidence. Because you miss it, you lose a couple games and you're like, oh, we're not good enough, but we are good enough, and I think you guys are going to see that in the next couple games.
We will look forward to that as well. Again, this has been Briana Brandts from St. James, and I'm Don Westphal, Director of Athletics at Bethany. We thank you for joining us for this installment of the Bethany Sports Beat.